Hello and welcome to Whisky.com, where fine spirits meet. And I'm standing in front of the Glen Ord Distillery. It was established 1838 by the Mackenzie family. The Mackenzie family got this land back in 1263 from King Alexander III, and they had this land for over 700 years, and then they built the distillery on there. And the distillery was going pretty well until the 1850s. Around there, the distillery was really going downhill, and then it was decommissioned. It was not working, and got then commissioned again. It was up and running again, and then later sold to the Dewar's company. And in 1966 they got a big renovation, new stills, everything was just made up to standard. And later it was then sold to United Distillers, which then became Diageo. And they actually did a renovation and put in new equipment, production capacity increase. And let's go in and see what they've done. I'm here at the mash tun at Glen Ord, and they get their malt obviously from the Glen Ord maltings. And I will make a separate video about the Glen Ord malting, so if you want to see this video, then subscribe to the channel and you will find it in your subscription box. Or if this video is older, look for the Glen Ord maltings on the channel. They have a 12.5 ton mash tun. They're now trying it with 13 tons, and they have another mash tun. So they have two mash tuns. When they expanded, they needed more mashing capabilities. And they said, let's build another mash tun. So it's kind of a bit more secure if you have two mash tuns. If one breaks down, not your whole production breaks down, but just half the production. And so the mash tun is fed by a tool roller mill. So it's a coarse grist, as we know from every distillery. And it is being mashed in here. You get a really, really sugary water out of there, and that's off to the washbacks for fermentation. So the two mash tuns then are in one building, but then they split up into production ways. This here is the new production with 12 new washbacks from about 2013-2014. They have a capacity of 56,000 liters, and with a clear wort and the liquid yeast, they come out with a bit of a grassy, green, but floral, also light wash. And the other mash tun feeds its wort to 10 washbacks, and these 10 washbacks fill the old 6 stills, and the new one feed the 8 new stills. So it's kind of a two-tier production system. But it works just fine. They're all pretty much identical. And let's go on and see how the distillation is made. So the still house here, it's just a beautiful sight. You have eight stills in line, and half of them are wash stills, half of them are spirit stills. The old wash house, that is the old still house that is still in use, has 6 stills, similar shape. They are also 3 wash, 3 spirit stills, so in half. And if you look at the stills, you see they're quite wide, but they're also quite tall. And that means you have a good separation of alcohol, copper contact. You don't have any reflux bowl, so the distillery has to distill a bit slower to get that light, grassy, floral character that they are looking for. And you charge it with 16,000 liters. The spirit stills are charged with only 14,000 liters. And what is really interesting here is you have a normal shell and tube condenser, and then you have another condenser that is there to conserve energy. And that energy is used everywhere in the plant for hot water, or what is really having a lot of necessity for hot air is the maltings next door. So they supply a lot of the energy for the maltings, and that is really good because you can then decrease the amount of energy you need to put into the whole plant and have higher efficiency, less impact on the environment. So it's really a good thing to have good energy conversion in every process that takes out energy out of the product. So yeah, after that it's the final new make spirit, and then let's see how that is matured in the warehouse. So this here is the warehouse of Glen Ord. They used to have 8 warehouses, 8 dunnage warehouses on site. 3 of them are now being transferred or redesigned into a visitor center. The visitor center will be really great with tasting rooms, with shopping, with like information and everything you want to have when you visit a distillery. And yes, the leftover 5 warehouses are filled in dunnage style with Glen Ord, mostly bourbon barrels and hogsheads, and Singleton of Glen Ord is then composed mostly of these casks. And yeah, the distillery produces 4.5 million liters, or used to produce 4.5 million liters of pure alcohol. Now, after 2015, they increased it with the new stills to 12 million liters of pure alcohol per year. And yeah, not everything is used for the Singleton or Glen Ord, but it goes mostly into the blend industry. So Diageo has a lot of blends, and they're really keen on this single malt from Glen Ord, because the malt percentage is what makes a blend really good. And yeah, you can taste in certain blends this character of Glen Ord. Yeah. So that was it with the production, and now I'm gonna have a little tasting of the Singleton of Glen Ord. So I'm standing here with Stuart Christine, and you've been 32 years within the whiskey industry, a lot of experience, 5 years here at Glen Ord and Tininik as a site operations manager.
Yep.
Thank you very much for having us here at the distillery.
No
Thank you very
problem.
much for showing us around and telling us everything.
No problem, a pleasure.
Yeah, so lovely to be around here. And we've seen a lot of new buildings, new washbacks. So why did you do the expansion?
Yeah, so back in 2013, the business were needing to expand production just to meet the volume growth within the global whiskey market. And so yeah, Glen Ord was chosen as being one of those ones that we needed to expand. The reason for that is down to the fact that we make a green grassy spirit here, and so lots of volume goes into the blending for a green grassy spirit, and so they wanted to uplift the production levels in these particular types of sites that make that type of character.
Okay, so we've seen a lot of demand for whiskey, and the supply side is always a bit hard to expand fast.
Yeah.
So the price has risen quite extensively over the last years. Will there be like a bit of a relief there?
Yeah, I guess for a little while, but I mean the market's been ebbing and flowing quite a lot for the last, especially of recent times, as we know, with COVID and things like that. So it's we expected to see it grow very strongly again. So yeah, whatever we've made, I'm sure is going to be used, and the price will probably go up again.
But maybe it's not going to rise as steeply with the expansion.
Hopefully not. We'll see.
Hopefully not. So we're gonna have some Glen Ord.
Yeah. So what we've got today, we've got the special release for 2008. So the 18-year-old, sorry, cask strength. This one.
Oh, nice.
So yeah. So we're probably going to need some water in this one, but we can do a nose before and a nose after.
Yep.
So yeah, 55 ABV.
Oh.
And as I say, 18-year-old, and yeah, so freshly charred. We think after single fill oak barrel, and so yeah, ex-bourbon, and we'll give it a go here. There you go.
Thank you. Ooh.
So, first impressions.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, now comes a little of a bourbon touch to it.
There's a little bit of bourbon there. Not as much citrus as we would normally get in Glen Ord. It's there, but it's...
I just smelled it when you said it.
Yeah.
Oh, but I like the oaky touch to it.
Yeah, it's
An
nice.
18-year-old is really, really nice.
Yeah,
It's just
amazing how it's got depth, but it's still quite light at the same time.
yeah. So is there? It doesn't feel like a sherry influence, does it?
No sherry at all in this. No. Just
But
ex-bourbon.
18-year-old ex-bourbon is just nice and mature, but still a light whiskey.
It's still light, isn't it? Yeah.
Usually the older ones are always like, oh yeah, we have some old sherry cask left.
Yeah.
I like it. I like it. Okay, so we got some water here.
Yeah, try with some water and see how it opens it up.
Ooh.
Yep. Yeah, so now you get some citrus coming through.
Yeah, it's much more fruity.
Yeah, much more fruity indeed.
Before I had a bit of a grassy, earthy, oaky touch to it. Now it's a really light one.
So just shows you how much change you can go from cask strength to adding a little bit of water.
Definitely, and
Now,
releases the
we're
flavor.
at now, but that's more where you would expect it to be.
Isn't that as a saying with the Scotch? Scottish always say, "Never drink whiskey without water." Water without whiskey.
certainly not cask strength. Yeah, no.
Yeah,
Just be
never
too
drink
warm.
water without whiskey.
So, cheers. Try.
Cheers.
See how we go on the tongue first.
Didn't have that for a long time. A nicely matured light whiskey. Usually when you go to 18, they get more intense and more strength and more oak. It has oak, but it's a light, mature whiskey. That's cool.
It's different, isn't it? So quite peppery in the background.
It does have some spiciness in
Yep.
the aftertaste. Now it's coming, but when you just first have it in your mouth, you think, oh, there's 12-year-old. No, wait, that's just too mature for it.
Yeah, and it's but yeah, the cask strength definitely changes it. So you need to have the water with it for me. But nice.
One of these roller coaster whiskeys where it just develops while you taste it, and at the beginning is much different to the end, and I like it. I like it.
Yep. Easy to drink.
Yeah,
You
easy
can
to
have
drink.
this. You can have this after a meal. For a meal, it's not too heavy.
Yeah, easy to drink with an 18-year-old is quite uncommon.
It is, isn't it? Yeah.
Yeah, it is.
But it just shows you with the first fill cask, you've not got a lot of flavourings left from previous filling. So that's what's bringing that through so lightly.
So this is one of the products from Glen Ord, the kind of the product from the distillery, the only single malt kind of a few single malts are on the market with special releases and that kind of stuff. So, but you have 12 million liters of production now. So where does it all go?
Yeah, good question. So a lot of, as like I said before, the expansion was really to serve the blending market. So large percentage of our volume here does go into blending. For the likes of our main brands, like Johnny Walker, for example. That's mainly where our production will go into, and then we set aside special volumes for releases such as these.
Yeah, so the Glen Ord is kind of the lighter grassy side of the Johnny Walker then.
Pretty much. I mean, not just Glen Ord, there'll be other green grassy sites going into that, but we will certainly be one of those players. Yeah.
Yeah, I think I do recognize a few flavors. So, really, really nice. And yeah, thank you very much for
no problem.
showing us around, showing us the whole site, telling us everything. And yeah, thank you very much for watching this video. And yeah, if you found this video interesting, please feel free to share this video with your friends who might also be interested in whiskey. And yeah, thanks for watching and see you next time.